Most writers know that the best way to improve a character is to hone in on their wants and needs. But it's not only important to do that throughout the whole storyline, but it's important to do that scene by scene. And most writers fail to ask the basic question, what do my characters want? There's a reason why they do the things that they do, and that includes every scene. So let's take a look at the new Andor, Season 2, Episode 10, how this little scene does that so well. You have two characters, Young and Lucian, talking to each other.
I'm burned.
What have you done?
I know what we've been chasing.
Young discovers something very important. Let's see what happens.
But first, we talk about safety. I have my wife and my daughter tucked away for the moment, but I need you to tell me how you're going to get us out of Coruscant.
He needs safe passage. He's not worried about passing along this information. His want right now is for him and his family to be safe. That's why he keeps asking, where are we going? Where are we going? And I'm not telling you anything until my family gets protected, right? That's his want. Now, on the other side, what does Lucian want?
Tell me what you've done.
I have had Dedra Meero's code cert for a year
To
now.
know exactly what he knows.
Something huge.
So now we're bargaining.
Lucian just thinks he's playing games, but he doesn't understand what Young wants.
They wouldn't have let me out of the building. I need safe passage.
How much time do we have? How hard will they come?
They'll come at this with everything they've got. Assume they're coming now.
Then there's no time to play games. I need to know what we're talking about. You're not the only one who'll be running. What are we up against?
Emperor's energy program is a lie. The rebellion on Gorman was a front from the start, a cover to strip mine the planet for some mineral that they need.
Fronting for what?
A weapon. Orson Krennic's been building a secret weapon for over a decade.
What kind of weapon?
Where will you take us?
See? Back to it. Back to his want.
Yavin.
Lucian gives him what he wants because what he wants is to know the truth.
We'll be safe there. As safe as we can be.
Yavin.
That's all he's interested in.
Tell me about the weapon.
And then we can assume that Young tells him here. And that's how you make a pretty easy scene, right? I mean, not too much. It's not too hard, right? You start from the scene of, this could have been a very flat, a very boring kind of scene or whatever, where he's telling him the information, but instead you get a scene where they're dueling back and forth because they have contradictory wants, right? Young doesn't really care about the rebels in this moment. He doesn't really care about getting Lucian the information that could save the rebels from this giant weapon. He's so consumed and obsessed with the fact that he wants to be safe, he wants his family to be safe. He'll tell Lucian exactly what he wants. But first he wants assurances. That's why he doesn't give specific information. He doesn't give specific information until Lucian tells him Yavin. And so he's like, okay, great, you have a place for me. Fantastic. Here's the information. Now, Lucian on the other side, he knows that they're not leaving. Both of them. I mean, honestly, well, he tries to leave, but he knows that Young is toast. He knows that Young is going to be compromised and that he's going to have to do, unfortunately, put a blaster through his chest because Young can't leave. He never intended to giving Young that safety, right? That's where we see the next scene, right? Obviously, we could assume, and I haven't really read anything up on it or looked at any other videos, but there's no way that Lucian didn't do that. So this whole time, Lucian knew there's no running away for you, buddy. I'm focused on getting what I want, and which was to know the information about the weapon. Very, very important that in your writing, you stick with that. And you know that through every scene, it doesn't matter what the characters are, right? The characters want something. They always want something. And so if you aren't writing with that want in need, you're missing out on dynamic scenes like this one. Again, how boring of a scene would it have been if Young didn't want something, right? If he just simply laid out everything. There's no tension in that scene. And that's where you get the tension, having different characters want different things in the moment, right? And so I hope you kind of use this, and it's helped me improve my scenes, knowing that, hey, you not only have to work on your main character arc, because Young really doesn't have a main character arc for him, but he still have wants in these scenes that makes this scene dynamic, right? Stop looking at just your main overarching character arc of what are my basic wants and needs throughout this story, because your character has different wants in every single scene. You hone in on those wants and it makes the scene more dynamic. You could have a great character arc from here to here, but have stale scenes intermittent throughout your whole story because you don't always ask does your character want. You have to always ask that in every single scene. If you're taking that for granted, your scenes are going to suck. They're going to be boring, even if your character arc is great, right? And yeah, honestly, I don't know why I brought up that particular scene. I just thought it was really well written, really like this show. But that was just a perfect example of how simple character wants can make a scene that much better. Thank you guys for watching. I'll have some more videos. Please give a like, maybe a sub if you haven't already. I've only got 100 subscribers, working on building this channel. If you have any critique or feedback, love to hear it. Also, if you want to tell me areas of struggle with your writing or other works of art, maybe you want more Andor content, maybe you want something else, let me know. Thank you guys. Take care.